Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to the Buncombe County Board of Education special called meeting for June 30. At this time, I would like to approve the agenda. No, I would like for somebody to make a motion to approve the agenda.
Chair, I move we approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you. And then, could I get a second?
Second.
And Madam Chair, before you proceed to a vote, we need to add the substitute teacher pay increase to the agenda.
Okay. Without objection, we'll add the substitute teacher pay to the agenda. Hearing no objection, that item is added. This time, we'll stand for the pledge. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All those in favor, please stand.
I don't want to touch it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We can please remain standing for a moment of silence because it's the end of the fiscal year. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, we will move into the action agenda, and I understand our finance department's been working their fingers to the bone, and I would like to entertain a motion to approve the interim budget resolution.
Madam Chair, since we're just getting it, could she walk us through it a little bit or something, since
I'm sure she is extremely familiar with this.
I don't need a lot of detail, but just to kind of, since I haven't seen it before now, it would be helpful to know what I'm voting on.
Okay, so what we've done is we put together a proposed budget in May that we brought to the county and to you guys for what we think the 22-23 budget would be. Well, we still don't know because of legislation is still working out the details for the second year of the biennial. So we are waiting those details, but what we've done is we have taken our projected numbers that we took to the board, to the county in May, and we've cut them in half because we're saying we will definitely have you a budget by November, and we have to have that interim to hold us over and to do business through November. So that number that we took to the county is cut in half, and we're requesting that you approve that so that we can move forward with business. And if you look on the second page, it's broken down by the state public school funds would be, we projected $152,501,000. Our local would be $97,288,000, and our other specific revenue would be 3.3. With all of that totaled up in the far right column, the amount of the intra-budget is 50% of that. And that's based on all the details on the different PRCs of every category is how that rolls up. Are there further questions about that?
The 50% is the 50% for the county is of the approved appropriation rather than what we requested, correct?
Say that again, I couldn't hear you.
Sorry, the 50% on the county line, the 50% is based on what they approved rather than what we requested, looks like. I'm not doing the math, but is that correct?
If you look in the middle column, yes, the amount
so it's-
adjusted,
Yeah, it's half of that, not the one to the left. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
All right, does that help you, Cindy?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. I want to commend our finance department, well, all departments, but today at this hour, we'll commend the finance department for being able to work through all this stuff and such a short period of time.
We appreciate that because this finance team is working very hard and they're wonderful. And I really appreciate them and I appreciate the board recognizing them. Thank you all so
And
much.
we also know that we are waiting for decisions from Raleigh, which will change much of.
Everything. I'll
Okay.
just be honest, everything.
Okay. I tried to say that nicely.
I know. Thank you.
I could have gone another way. So could I get a motion to approve the interim budget resolution for 22-23?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, budget amendment number 8, you had no business sitting down. Okay. Are there questions for Ms. Thorpe on this item?
Just kind of the same thing, since we're just now seeing it. If you could walk us through so we know what we're voting on.
I'll be glad to. Let me flip over. And I'll try not to get into the weeds and just.
Please stay out of the weeds.
Okay. I think there's very minimal changes based on where we were progressing through the budget all year long. And we make amendments every time there are changes. So if you flip to the second page and look at the chart versus reading all of the words, in the change column, we had 539,633 change for this particular budget amendment. And we have basically gone back and summarized that in writing on the first page, what it entails. And some of the biggest components would be that the law requires us to do an interfund transfer throughout the year for the school nutrition director's salary. We've done that. We have to wait to the end to do that, so that's in there. That's one of the biggest pieces you see. And then we have worked down to all the position allotments, and you can see that down here in the chart on the second page. We have used up every position allotment that we could and zeroed out, so we got all that taken care of. And then that's up here, and the reason you see a little bit of a difference in dollar amounts versus positions, we zero them out by positions because they are position allotments, but the state has a different formula. And so in some of these categories, there was a little bit of money over and a little bit of money under, but we have to do it based on positions. So that's a little confusing, and I don't want to get in the weeds, but it's based on the formula that DPI uses for dollars versus how it equates to positions. For example, some of our teachers, we always try to put the highest paid teachers in state. So that's what we do, and put the lower percentage down in, the lower paid down in local. So that's how come it doesn't come out to the exact dollar.
And as tradition has it, we try our best to capitalize on all the state money so we don't send any back to Raleigh. Is that correct?
That is correct, and that's what we've done. We have maximized the positions, and you can see in PCR 01 teachers, we have used every bit of it. We've used every dime
We
of the
appreciate
positions
that.
we could use legally.
Really appreciate that.
Right. So then if you flip on over with the color chart, that's where you're seeing the differences there. On this chart, if you look at teachers, it shows 98.92, but on the first chart for positions, teachers are positions. That's why we used all the positions that we could currently use, but the state dollars is a little bit higher than what the positions calculated out to. So that's why it says we only used 98.2, which technically we used 100% of the positions. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Then in 009, that is where we have annual leave and longevity payouts in that, and we never know how many we're going to have, so we have to keep truing it up as we go along. And we have to budget a budget to begin with, and then we have to true it up. So that's why that's different. We finalized where we are and how many payouts we had throughout the year. And then, so basically that comes down and shows you line item by line item how we tried to maximize and efficiently use every dime that we could.
I said we appreciate that. Other questions? I think Ms. McMahon's good. Okay? So, hearing no other questions, I would entertain a motion to approve budget amendment number 8.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? School nutrition budget. Boy, I've heard a lot of challenges for school nutrition. But I have no questions. Are there questions from the board about the challenges that are being presented on school nutrition? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I truly, and all of us, truly appreciate the work that the school nutrition does in managing their money and feeding our children. We feel very strongly about that. Reynolds High School, use of capital outlay for athletic allotment. Questions about this? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? North Buncombe Middle School roof replacement project, authorization to award contract. Are there questions from board members?
Madam Chair, I have one for Mr. Fearley, if he could help me with this. And it actually applies to both this one and to Oakley. Same question with different monies. When I look at the memo, it's $746,000. Help me when I look at the bids. If I look at base bid for Southern Metals and alternate 1, I get the 746, but I'm also looking at alternate 2, which as I read this appears like is going to happen, which is an additional 205,000. Am I looking at this wrong or missing something?
No, you can see in the recommendation, it says includes base bid and alternate 1 only. We didn't have enough funds to do alternate 2.
So then the fact that it's included down there with, that was what was confusing me, because it's still there down below where
That's the bid tab.
So
in
it's
our-
just the bid tab, doesn't describe.
Yeah, that's our bid tab. It's really hard to predict
Okay.
what things cost these days, and we're trying to have a project that's awardable. So we break it out as base bid and a number of alternates, and then we go as far as the funding allows.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you.
Other questions? Hearing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve North Buncombe Middle School's roof replacement.
So moved.
Thank you. Second? I guess I ought to second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Oakley Elementary School, Middle School retrofit project. Questions for Mr. Fearley regarding that?
Mr. Fearley, I have the same questions there. Is it same?
We were able to do all the alternates in this case.
But I didn't think it added up to 6. My question, I think, unless my math is really bad, I used a calculator. I didn't get, when I added up base bid, alternate 1, alternate 2, alternate 3, I didn't come up to 835,103.
There is an additional work. We were fortunate enough that we were able to do all the alternates.
Yep.
But we were also able to request a proposal from the low bid contractor to add a cable safety system on the roof so that maintenance can get up on this roof and service any equipment on the roof. We received that additional cost that could have been a change order, but we took that additional cost and then we compared it to the second low bidder, and the lowest bidder, even with that additional cost,
Was a low bid.
was lower than the other guy. So we proceeded with doing that safety cable, that kind of a OSHA
Yeah.
cable system. So we were fortunate on that one to get really a lot of competition and good bids.
Good. Thank you. That's helpful.
Any other questions? I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next item, substitute teacher pay, which was added to the agenda. And do we have questions for Mr. Probst? We're glad we're paying substitute teachers. We appreciate that. And so there's an increase in their pay, is that correct? And we're pleased with that, too.
Presumably, this is reflected in the budget, these higher numbers for subs?
Yes, and this is based on the law that was passed in November of '21, because we had to bring this to you at the beginning of when we found out that law. In January, we brought it to you when they had to move to $13 an hour. And now this is reflective of the $15 an hour. And then also it includes the same percentage increase for the certified and the non-certified subrates. So yes.
All right. Any other questions?
I just have one question, and it might be for Mr. Probst, but how's it looking for people? Are we seeing new people sign up for substitutes, or what opportunities do they have to take the classes? I mean,
Yes, we are seeing a lot of our sub pools increase. We already have 60 signed up to take the orientation in August, so we're looking good. It's kind of a revolving door with substitute teachers. About half of them that we hire end up getting permanent positions within BCS. So for those of you watching online, visit buncombeschools.org/substitute because we would love to have you. So you can find more information on our website.
That's great news that you're getting people that are interested in doing that.
Yep.
Other
And it's
questions?
pretty easy to sub too. You can sub as minimum, as one time a week, 30 days a month, 20 days a month. If you just want to do it a couple times a year, that's fine too.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, for the low price of $49, no.
You can tell that Brian Probst had Christy Cheek as a marketing teacher.
This,
Okay, so I'd entertain a motion to
Thank you.
approve.
Madam Chair.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving right along. On the consent agenda, we have the minutes of June 2nd, 2022, regular meeting, the personnel report with an addendum, mandatory student athletic insurance 22-23, mandatory catastrophic athletic insurance 22-23, award of contract for liability, property, auto, and workers' compensation insurance, Buncombe County Schools proposed federal programs 22-23, award of the countywide trash and recycling contract, renewal of student picture package for 22-23, Owen Middle School's request to change banking institutions. Could I get a motion to approve the consent agenda, please?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Second.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, at this time, we,
Can I ask for just a brief moment of privilege? I would like for the board to recognize one of our leadership staff, Ms. Stacia Harris, who on Tuesday afternoon was declared Dr. Stacia Harris.
congratulations. I understand your dissertation topic was quite interesting. Good, good.
And I believe she actually has some summer left to go out and celebrate. All right.
That's great. So at this time, the board is going into closed session. I need a motion to, I need a motion to do that?
You can adjourn the open session and with the information that we'll reconvene in closed, but I think the most appropriate thing would be to entertain your closed session motion at this time, and I will defer to staff. The only topic that I'm aware of is the one given in GS 143-318.11A1, concerning personnel information that's confidential under GS 115C-319 through 321. And I don't have the agenda for closed session available to me, so I don't know if there are other grounds that need to be cited.
I don't think so.
Well, it's A1 for FERPA purposes and attorney-client privilege under A3.
I hope all of you understand that, don't you? He's speaking in Greek.
So the motion needs to cite all of those subsections and A6. You could do that by a so moved type of motion.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Getting me out of there is a wonderful thing. Let's go for a second.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we will move to the executive conference room. And then at the end of closed session, we will come back here and,
I'm
We
not
don't?
aware of any open session action to be taken, so I believe you'll adjourn as soon as you conclude the closed session.
okay. Well, your vacation starts real early, doesn't it? Uh-huh. So I guess we pack up and move. I hope all of you have a wonderful 4th of July weekend. And if you haven't seen on Facebook what Clark Wyatt's wife caught, the size of the fish that she caught, what now? I didn't understand that. It was a big fish.
He left that part out.
Okay, so we're adjourned. Cut off.
On the air.
I think we were.